We are at currently Rosemont, Illinois area, West Chicago, at the Muscle Car and Corvette National Show, and we're having a blast. This is the Ford display, Ford production cars. We have a lot of Boss 429 cars here, and of course the centerpiece of this collection right here is a Alan Mann built Ford race car, GT40. There's my car. I had looked for a race car to start off with a hunt for about a year and a half, and I got a tip from a friend of mine, Jim Coles with Shelby Parts and Restoration out of Wisconsin, with his information and tip from Jim Coles, and called the owner of this GT at that time, who was in New Jersey. Drove out to New Jersey, looked at the car, made the deal, brought the car home Thursday. So in a matter of Sunday to Thursday, I owned a GT40. My thought process at the time looking for the car was to own a 24-hour race car. We knew we had something, started with it, looked for documentation, did a search for pictures and things like that, and just kept going, and here's the final product. Being the aluminum body that it is actually, in fact, the rarest GT40 by build, being one of two aluminum cars. It was also equipped with a 427 during Ford's time with a test car configuration, Mark IIB test car with Webers, automatic transaxle at the time, and no other car was developed or built like that. So it is very, very rare as far as what the car was during the days in the 60s. It's the rarest 40 from the 60s. The number 16 was on the car when we bought it. We built it with a 289 naturally aspirated, carbureted by Webers engine. It's exactly as it would appear in all of the documentation, photos. Some of the crew members, like Jim Rose, gave us data and information. Alan Mann himself helped us with some data and information, down to things that people may look at and say it's not shiny enough. That's acrylic lacquer paint. It's exactly like it was, not buffed out. We try and make it, I guess, a time warp out of 1966 Test Days LeMans, France. The wheels that's on it are a magnesium hub GT40 wheel. It is the wheel that was on the car in 1966. Same exact wheel. It's been tenderly restored back to this condition to look good, and it is good. They've been x-rayed, zyglowed, whatever it takes to put them on the road and be safe. So they're speed safe. Original, not to the car, but original racing tires. They're x-rayed tires, the Blue Streak Goodyear Sport Car Special. So extremely rare car with extremely rare tires. The car was totally apart when I bought it. It's covering like the base of a 30 by 40 foot garage. Every piece has been built, rebuilt, massaged, reworked, yes. The car wasn't completed until August of just this year. So we didn't have a rolling car with power until just August. I've driven it about 35 miles. We had a few roadblocks with health and speed of information coming in, a couple of roadblocks with parts that we possibly thought could be bought or purchased and more correct for the car turned out not to exist. And we started in 2004 in earnest and finished in 2019. So speed of restoration was not a item. Correctness and authenticity was the thrust and the direction, the speed. Yeah, it became longer than it should have, but we had to have it right. It was the fourth fastest at LeMans Test Days in '66. If I have it right, I think it was 204 mile an hour. I would have no qualms at all, other than the tires. Get fresh, new, safety-related racing rubber on it. Fill it with fuel, check the oil, go to town. The kids like it. We got a family. All the kids are involved. Some of the families coming today, some of the family was here yesterday. Growing families, we got growing schedules and going different ways. So I was so excited to learn about the show. Unfortunately, this is the first year I've attended because I didn't know of the show. Now, shame on Rex, but I got here and took in the displays and all and was impressed right away without any activity on Friday night. And the layout was well, the building as well, Bob and his son Eon are excellent in all terms, and I just kept thinking about this. And other shows I've attended don't measure up to this in my feelings. And so I just mentioned to Bob a little while ago, I said I would like to remember this as Chicago. We no longer have a muscle car show in Chicago. We have Chicago, and this is Chicago weekend.